Okay, let's talk about using the bar model problem solving technique when used for solving unit rate problems. There's 6 steps. First one, we're going to read the problem. We're going to identify the variables. We're going to figure out who the problem is about and what it's about, okay? Then we're going to draw a unit bar to represent 1 unit for each variable. And then we're going to read each sentence one more time to try to solve the problem. And then finally, once we've solved the problem, we are going to write our answer in a complete sentence. Okay? So let's read this problem. A train traveled 210 miles in 3 hours. If the train continued to travel at the same rate, how far will it travel in 5 hours? Okay, so following our steps, we read the problem. Let's identify the who and the what it's about. Okay, it's not really a who, but the first problem is about a train. And the what, this train is traveling. So I'm going to write down there the train's distance traveled. Okay, the next step was to draw a bar to represent 1 unit for that variable. Okay, so there's our bar. That's going to represent our 1 unit or 1 hour to represent our unit, 1 unit, okay, unit rate. All right, then we're going to continue. How many units? Well, there's 3 hours in the problem. If we read this problem one sentence at a time, a train traveled 210 miles in 3 hours. Now I have 1, 2, 3 units or 3 hours. Okay, how far did it travel in those 3 hours? It traveled 210 miles. Okay, now let's continue reading the problem. If the train continued to travel at the same rate, again, we have our rate right here, it's going to travel at the same rate, how far will it travel in 5 hours? So there we go, there's our units or hours. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and let's think a little bit further. If we're using these bars, these 3, they're going to travel the same distance every hour. Okay, we know that 3 units equals 210 miles. So if we do some division there, dividing into 3 equal parts, each one of these units will be 70. Okay. So to answer our question, how far would they go in 5 hours? We're going to use this bar model. So it's 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times rather than 3 times. And if we do that multiplication, we're going to get 5 units equals 5 hours times 70 miles, which is going to equal that they can travel 350 miles in 5 hours. Okay, so taking that and completing, writing a complete sentence, the train will travel 350 miles in the 5 hours.